do chords. Okay, so on the chords, which part do you want, so that I will try and maybe break it down for you? Yeah, true. uh on the chords, which part should I do? Soulful chords. Okay, so so now when it comes to chords, what I usually do, first let's load the sound here so that to be able to focus on the chords. So I'm just gonna load this sound, and then I want to add some reverb, and then okay. So now on the chords, there's many ways to do chords. Most of the time, if you mess around with there's numbers from, I think from 5, I think it's 5 to 13, but you can go further as soon as you do this edit thingy. So the ones which I use is from, I don't use 7. I don't know when was the last time using 7, but I use 9. So I use 9 up to 11, but you can use 13, yabo, to get like something soulful. So soulful chords are mostly coming from, you can, this is minor 9. So I'm just gonna stack them so that you see. I'm gonna take minor 9, then I'm gonna go to the stamp again, then I'm gonna take minor 11. This is M. M means minor. MAJ means major. Then put it here. See, and then I'm gonna go again to my stamp and then look for 13. So that's where I usually stop. So you see, this is just different chords. Same chord, if you check here, is the same chord. The only difference is at the top here. That's the only difference. That's why you ended up with 11 and 13. Some of them you can do like edit. The edit you're usually gonna do them. It's like, so when you do this edit, you are gonna be adding things like the bass. You see, I'm not just doing an edit, but I know it's gonna be a problem for someone who doesn't really understand how this cost thing work, or they're only interested in just making music. So the tricky now is we can mess around with these to come up with different chords progression. So one way is to take chords, copy them, move them up. You see, just move them up. The second way is to clone chords. Then you see, have the same copy at the top. And then the other way is to use this knife here, and then you cut, then you get it like, let me start the first one. The first one is the normal chord, right? This. And then the second way was you move things up, and then you get, see, the third way was saying we duplicate, then end up with that. The fourth way is saying we use a knife, this knife here, to cut, then see, so this knife you can use to cut. And then let me set the tempo to 114. And then the last way is you come here and then you use strum. So on strum, what you want to do is, since I selected one thing, so on strum you need to come here, select strum, and then on strum I do this, I get, see, that's strum for you. So you see what strum does, it just create that thing for you, which that's the cool thing. The other way, you can just mess around with the velocity. See, you just get that nice thing. So then now you know, good, okay, you have this chord. So what I'm gonna do now, since we done with the first way, which we ended up with that chord, so now I'm gonna do the second way. The second way is saying we can move things up, down. Now we are done with the other ways of manipulating a chord. Now these are ways of creating different sounds from the same chord. Okay, now see. You see what I did? So if you check, this is the same chord which is here. This is the same chord. Well, this is 11. I just took this 11 and then I moved it up here, and then we ended up with. You see, what I'm thinking in my mind, there's a sound like dun dun. That's a high note, and possibly if I duplicated this using that duplicating strategy, we end up with that chord now. Ooh. You're hearing these, right? Like we just did that and then. So now we have that. So now what we can do here, we can also come and mess around with the LFO. So what I need to do to just let me see if I'll be able to. It doesn't split. Okay, most of the time I think it works for chord group and then just make it unique. And then now what I want to do is I want to cut here, right? This, remember, the first one is 9, this one is 11, and then this one is 13. So now I'm just taking this 13, let me cut it, and then I want to take it and put it here. That's what I'm getting, and I'm happy with that. If you listen properly to this chord, it's nice. But the only problem now, we have a lot of bass here, so that's why we end up having things like this, like woo, woo. But then possibly if now we use a different approach of saying we are not copying, duplicating, but we are moving up. You see, now the strategy is saying we're not duplicating, just moving up. Then now. So it was here. So I just took it and moved it up here. See? So now can do this. So we can try and maybe use the same strategy saying we take these two, move them up. But this one is already here, so don't want to stack it here. So I'm just gonna remove it. You see, then we have that. We have a chord now. So now let me see if I put a kick, what's gonna happen. Let's just create a simple loop. Just gonna look for a clap, just like that. Put the clap, just like that. Have a clap. Then now I'm gonna look for the kick. Okay, now I have put a head. Where's the head? Doesn't really matter in terms of the head. It can be just a head. It's a head. And okay, I have that. So now if I play, so you see, I get that. But the last part is just, this first part, it feels like it's mainly for resolving the chord. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this part, because I feel like this part is fine, but you use it to resolve the chord. So now I'm just gonna, I'm using FL 20.8. You can get it from getting to PC. So now if I do this, you see, you can do, you can also duplicate. You see I'm copying these, move them up here. This one is here, it's gonna cause a problem getting rid of it. And then now here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a strum. So I want to strum that one. So I'm taking this and strum it. You You see, now I'm having that, but it's too loud. So I'm just gonna drop these volumes. Just gonna try and drop them so that not too loud, and then now I have. And then once you have this, you are done. Because the only thing that you need now is just a piano. As soon as you put a piano, you're just gonna end up with a different thing. End up something. Put a low, end up like. End up with that. Then here, as soon as you put like a string, the mosquito. You see what we have? So another thing is the sound that you are using in terms of like they are the one that sometimes you feel like nah, things are not sounding fine. If I can change this hi-hat, then I'm gonna end up with I'm in mosquito are friends, eh? Make this tra this swing. You see at this point, now we can start maybe putting a bass. Let's see. Now I want to do the bass. The bass is gonna be here. It's gonna be the last note. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop this because I feel like it's too loud. So drop that, drop that. See. Doesn't play. Maybe it's overlapping or something, I think. No, it doesn't. Let me just make it small. See.